All right, good morning, Year 11. So I wanted to quickly do a bit of a feedback on the Year 11 assessment task before I return it to you. So obviously I'm not going to put anyone's response up here, but I want you to listen to what I've got to say. Have a look at the comment I've written on your assessment task. Then if you have any issues with it, please contact me, but don't just look at your mark and maybe if you're not happy with it, reply. Make sure you watch this and you've read your comments first. All right, so the first thing we've got to know is this is a senior subject. So we have outcomes here. Outcomes are the basis of our course. The material your teachers teach come from the outcomes, and what you've got to do is the assessment reflect it. So the first thing is you have to describe the characteristics of the religion belief system. So therefore, all of those four characteristics needed to be embedded into your essay. You needed to identify the influence of religion belief systems on individuals. So essentially this dot point 2 here was looking at Aboriginal spirituality. How is that being expressed as a religion? And then the second one, select and uses relevant information from a variety of sources. So some people gave some great explanations about Aboriginal spirituality, but essentially really didn't have any examples. And then lastly, use of appropriate technology. So kinship, totems, things like that, all of that language that we had in our syllabus needed to appear in your writing. So some people had great answers, but just lacked the specific terminology. So I know I'm talking negative, but essentially I was pretty impressed overall by your responses, but I essentially want to talk about what we could build on. So the task itself, should Aboriginal spirituality be classified as a religion? A lot of you have in your comments that you have to ensure that your language is shaped back to the question. This doesn't say, tell me everything you know about Aboriginal spirituality. It doesn't say, tell me everything you know about the characteristics in Aboriginal spirituality. It says, should Aboriginal spirituality be classified as a religion? So therefore, you should constantly be answering that question. And how are you answering it? You're answering it by justifying that it connects to those characteristics. A lot of people just said, here's a characteristic, here's Aboriginal spirituality. You needed that link at the end to say, because Aboriginal spirituality fits into this characteristic, it should be classified as a religion. Or it doesn't meet that characteristic, so therefore it isn't classified as a religion. Remember, you could have said yes or no. That wasn't the problem, but it was how well you justified your response. So let's look down at the marking criteria. There it is. I'll just go through this. So essentially, it's the same one all broken down. So first of all, a sophisticated and highly accurate justification for the classification of Aboriginal spirituality. So this here, sophisticated. Did you constantly, all through your essay for each of those characteristics, link back to it? Have you said, here's sacred text, that's why it's a religion, etc.? Highly articulate. Were you using expressive language to ensure that it should be seen that way? Remember, you're making a justification, so you have to prove that this is the case. So dot point 1 was essentially, did they answer the question and how well did they answer it? Dot point 2 offers an insightful understanding of each aspect of the religion. So for those four, particularly sacred text, Aboriginal spirituality isn't clear cut within them. So in terms of rituals, for example, you could have just said, yeah, they do corroborees, they do smoking ceremonies, not really insightful. But if you said they do a ritual like a corroboree, which is what brings the ancestors back to the present, that connects into the belief systems, etc., you're becoming insightful. So therefore, that expression of a ritual connects back to it being a religion because it touches on beliefs. So how deep did you actually show that that aspect is present? Then utilizes excellent research and incorporation of relevant resources, particularly the dreaming. So as we know, the dreaming is not just one religion. So there's 250 different Aboriginal groups in our country, and there could be a lot more than that. We don't totally know. But straight away there, you've got at least 250 examples that you can go to. So some people were talking about Dreamtime stories, giving specific examples. They were talking about different groups in the Northern Territory, etc. That was perfect. No one, strangely enough, mentioned Darkinjung, our area. So we needed to do that. Just to finish up, so needed to be a proper structured essay. We've got to work on our introductions and conclusions a fair bit and make sure you use that terminology. The words in your get stuck ins have to be in your essays. I'm saying that quickly because I've only got 12 seconds left. Please read your responses, listen to this, have a look, get back to me if you want me to re-clarify. All right, see you guys.